Hi, I'm Cram, and today we're taking another look at the Villain Simulator, which is available in early access via Patreon, and it's from Zenel Arts. So this is another look at the character customization, and I'm going to sort of do a bit of a deep dive on how I normally sort of create custom characters. So let's start off with the face. This is a sort of default face, and just going to sort of make some minor adjustments. Now the way that this works is you have all these kind of preset looks which are kind of standard for Unity, I think. So you can sort of adjust the shape of the head and sort of mix and match to create some sort of crazy looking characters. Yeah, sort of weird head shapes. You can even sort of go that far. Yeah, you get the point. So it's kind of very weird and unusual if you push these sliders too much. But I mean, obviously, if you sort of work with a basic sort of element, I mean, I think that's quite nice there. And then sort of pull it back. So if I move Hannah down, back down, completely changes the shape of the face. So try and use these sliders to get the kind of shape of face that you want. Obviously, if you want to go all that, then obviously that's what you can do. So you've got to bear in mind what kind of look you're going for. And I mean, if you go back to the default hairstyle, all right, yeah. If you've got to take that off first, otherwise it won't do it. There's a sort of default hair, which gives you a good look at the face. So that's a really nice way of looking at your face shape. So as you probably are well aware from my previous videos, I do sort of spend a lot of time with these sort of customization. So look, this gives you the option to change the sort of Asian look, you know, change the eyes height. You can make your character look very weird looking if you don't get these right, put the distance close together. I mean, we all have very unusual looks, varied looks, should I say, and one man's meat is another man's poison. So you might prefer sort of more Asian looking eyes. You might prefer the eyes being high up on the head. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you options to move things like eyebrows, unless I've missed something somewhere along the way. But yeah, so to work with these tools, the first thing I'm going to do though, aside from worry about the eyebrows, which are quite thick to be fair, is the mouth. This really bothers me with this, is the teeth size. She's got two sort of gappy teeth, so you've got to bring that down and just make that like that, and it looks a bit more natural looking now. You can have these sort of vampire fangs if that's your calling, and you can even have a front gap if you want to do that, but I think that's a bit better. So I think it's entirely up to you what you want to go for first, but I think, which is human psychology, most people go for the eyes first. They look at the eyes first. That's the most prominent feature of somebody's face. When you first meet them, you're going to look them in the eyes first before you start looking elsewhere. So you can make these eyelashes a bit longer. You can change the colour of those. You can droop your eyes, and yeah, that's too high now. I'm not sure what happened there. Got to keep it in the middle, 50%. Right. So she's now got a kind of Asian look. I've sort of made her look that way. And for me, I think what's very important is the eye colour. The iris colour. I do have a thing for sort of dark blue eyes. But obviously, brown is the most common eye colour in the world. Hazel or dark brown, like that. My eyes are that colour actually, and so yeah, let's keep it that colour for now. Normally I go for sort of a blue, but you can really get a sense of difference in looks as soon as you change the eye colour. It's really sort of quite dramatic how you sort of interpret the face. So that blue there is very different to the sort of brown there, as you can see. Right, so the thing that I would do for this character now is, she's quite round faced, which is kind of cute, is the mouth. That's what's bothering me at the moment, not the teeth. We've sort of sorted that out. We would need to widen that mouth just a little bit. Yeah, sort of about there. That lower lip is kind of a bit thick as well, but I think I'm going to have to live with that for now. I think she's looking quite good. Chin length, you can sort of move that up and down. I think move that down and move the mouth actually a bit lower, if it lets me do it. Just a little bit. Now she might look a bit weird now, like that, but what you do to overcome that is you then move the nose down to suit. So to move the nose height, it's not going to let me do it that high, so I think that's probably okay for now. I don't like too much of a gap between the top lip and the septum. I think that's the right word for it. So I think I might have to actually move that mouth back up a bit more. Let's have a look. Yeah, roughly about there I think is fine. So I'm looking at the Y shape of the face. I don't want too much of a gap between the bottom lip and the tip of the chin either. So I might have to bring the chin up a bit, just a little bit, to keep that sort of rounded, youthful face. Okay, so next thing you would work on, let's just work on this lips though a bit more. She's got a sort of downward turn lips. Let's have a look, see what I can do here. Now this is kind of like the central part of the lips. Mouth height, mouth width, lip upper enlarged. You can make that slightly bigger. She's got a bit more puffy lips, and I think that's probably what I can do with the lips. I think it looks pretty cool. So nose is now a big thing as well to change. Again, moving the nose height up. You might know people that look like that, but for me and my taste, the nose, the big gap between the top lip and nose looks orcish, as far as I'm concerned, and for my taste, for the sort of perfect looking woman, there's a nice little gap between the top lip and the bottom of the nose. So I think that's quite symmetrical at the moment. The thing is, as well, as I've always said in other videos, to get a proper look, you really need to look at the side of the character, and I'm not sure how to actually get that view. So look here now, so you get a good profile look at the nose. She's actually got quite a cute nose like that, which is nice. So let's go back to the face. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the shape of the nose, but I can sort of, you've got these options to move it around: Nordic, Greek, Nubian. You know, you've got all these options to just change the nose, and there's that feline again. But I'm quite happy with that default nose. Now it doesn't have any options for like the nostril height and nostril width. So you just got to go with these sliders. So for me now, looking at her face, I think the eyes are perhaps a bit too big, and I'm not sure I can change the size too much. So yeah, look. So what I think what happens with this editor is that it will set to the head that you've chosen, and then as soon as you touch the option, it will then adjust it. So I just want to get her eyes slightly smaller. They look a bit too big. Like, I mean, that's too big, a bit anime looking. Just slowly bring them down so you've got the right sort of, so you don't want eyes to be massively huge on someone's face. There she's looking a bit more realistic now, which is nice. So you've got things like eyelids, puffiness at the bottom of the eye. You can sort of do that as well. And you've got a bit of puffiness at the top there. Then you've got the eyelids as well, and angles as well you can do, but I'm not going to go too deeply on that. I mean, there's a flap of skin that comes over on Asian eyes, which is prominent for Asian looking women. That's East Asian, as in Chinese and Japanese. But no, I think she's looking good. She's looking great. So next thing I would do now, I'm not going to go into the body too much. I think we'll leave it at that. Is her skin color. Now I'm quite happy making a cyberpunk character like that. I'm very much into that. So let's keep her with the cyberpunk look. But what I can do now is I can change the skin tone. Now that's drastically changed how she's looking. So I mean, I can go from an Indian Asian to an Asian, East Asian, Japanese or Chinese. I think her eyes are probably a bit too not right for an Asian. They're kind of there, but I'd like to just have her a bit of a, not too dark, not too red, devilish, but just a bit of colour so that she's sort of tanned, not necessarily like pale. So it's got to get that right. I think that's probably a nice, if we go and look at the full body shot. Yep, that's cool. And as you can see from this sort of distance as well, you can see the size of the eyes on the head sort of makes quite a big difference. And I still think now her eyes are a bit too big compared to the rest of her head in terms of the scale. So what I would do is just bring that in just a little bit more back there. That's probably a bit better. That's definitely much better now. Yeah, I hope you can see that. So the eyes aren't so massive now. That's definitely a big improvement. Now she's looking absolutely lovely. So let's sort out the hair. Lots of different hairstyles, and that's even more Asian now. Right. Very nice hairstyle. Straight in there. Again, changing the colour of the hair will make a big difference. So we can sort of cycle through those. Let's get close up again. Cycle through those pink hair. As you can see, that now that's sort of Japanese looking with that pink sort of hairstyle. Let's keep it at that for now. She's looking great. She's looking fantastic. Other adjustments, you can expand the size of the hair, stop the clipping. Again, that's a wonderful feature which I can't speak highly enough of. Yeah, that's great. I'm quite happy with the way she looks. Now, next thing is the lips and the lips colour. I think her lip shape is fine. Let's just go back to the eyes, as I was saying earlier. Okay, so if you now change her eye colour to, let's just go back. Let's have a look. Colour. Right. Iris colour. So if we now change this to a blue colour, you can see again, look straight away, her look has completely changed. The fact that she's now got these sort of blue eyes. I think Asians, Indian sort of Asians have sort of green, more predominant green eyes, which is kind of nice. Again, that's a completely different look. But no, we're going to keep her the brown, common brown, which looks nice with her. I think that looks great. So what we're going to do is the lips colour. Now that's next, that's important. Again, we can go for sort of funky colours. Even cyberpunk. Is that a cyberpunk look? But you want to just match the lipstick to the skin tone. So you don't want to go bright red like that. It looks kind of a bit silly. So for her, I just want a soft, not so saturated colour. Keep the gloss is fine. I mean, you can tone that down. Gloss is fine. And yeah, that's a nice colour for her skin tone and to sort of complement her hair. Right, you change eyelash colour. Again, that's another layer that you can mess around with. So let's just pull back out, go to the free cam, and yeah, she's great. Wonderful. Looks fantastic. And she's very cyberpunk. So we can go the whole hog now in terms of her body. This is where it gets a bit funky. Let's just give her a bit more. Let's just go here. And look at this here. Let's just do that. Not going to linger too much on that. Oh, we've got to have the sacral dimples. And then you can sort of, let's see what the monster legs does. Let's just go out for a second. What does that do? Oh, look at the feet. If you just focus on the feet for a second. Yeah. Those feet are a bit scary, so let's just not do that. Widen those hips a bit more. We just turn around. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, let's not linger there too long. Okay, so I think she's looking great now. Skin color again, I could sort of make her a bit darker, but I think that's just fine for the kind of character that I'm creating here. And I think that is it. I mean, there's other things I can be doing, changing her bust size and stuff like that, but I'm not going to bother with that for now. So moving on, if we go to the full view, what you're able to do, let me just save her first. Okay, right, what we can do now is change the arms. Now we can do some really crazy things. We can even make her into a sort of synthetic character. So you've got this synthetic arm right, synthetic arm left. We can do that again with the legs. Let's just do that now quickly. Where is it? Just bear with me a second. Sci-fi boot, is that what it is? No, I think it comes under bot gear actually. Synth leg. Right, so she's really sort of really modded here. And what's really nice about this is if we go back to the hands, synth arms, I'm not sure what these other options do. I think you can just change the colour of various parts, but we're going to change the colour to give it a different tone. So look, this metallic tone here looks really nice. What I would say is it would be nice to be able to copy that colour over to the other side, because now I have to sort of try and replicate that as best I can. It's not an exact match. There might be a way to do it, but I'm missing it. So that's quite sort of metallic colour. So then we can just copy that to the leg. Well, not copy it, but try and replicate that on the leg. And just do that. It's a nice colour. Just sort of doing it very quickly. Not really doing it as a precise movement. So now you've got her looking very sort of modded and cyberpunk. Now also what you can do is you can add masks to the character. So you've got that 2B sort of mask, cat mask as well. You know, you've got these things you can play with, but let's leave her without a mask for the moment. So what else can we do here? She's sort of in her underwear, so we've got the tops as well. Assassin shirt, assassin top. And as I said, you can mix and match items as well. So yeah, is that right? The combat armor. So what you can do is expand it so it just fits over that bra nicely. That's very nice. Yeah, we like that. And then we need this sort of underwear, don't we? Because she's sort of still sitting in her pants. So as I said, you can mix and match these things. So look, for example, we can have a little mini skirt with that, which is a bit unusual. Or a sailor skirt, which doesn't kind of look right. I think she needs something like this corset. That's better. Okay. Much better. Let's just bring that out a bit more. So it fits. So it kind of fits the body better. Right, so now we can change the colour of this. See if we can match it to this sort of metallic-y sort of colour that we've got here. That grey colour is nice. And then we'll go to the top again. Torso, and we'll go to combat armor. I think that was it. And change the colour of that as well to suit. Let's have that sort of dark colour though, like black. So you've got this sort of two-tone look. So you can see the straps on the bra as well. I think there might be a way to adjust that. But what I can actually do is actually remove the bra now instead of having it there. It doesn't need to be there. That's better. Much better. Right. The only thing that I'm looking at her now is her hair colour doesn't really match the rest of her outfit. So let's just change that hair colour to something a bit darker. I think that'll be better. That's much better like that. Okay, so she's looking good now. She was looking good before. There's things I can add as well to add on top of the synth sleeve. So I can add like these sort of pads, which is nice. Give it a bit more of a cyberpunk look. Keep it on one arm, that just gives it a bit of flavour. Again, let's just expand it a little bit so it fits over her existing arm. Let's just rotate her around so you can get a look at that. It's pretty nice. Oh, the way she's posing as well is quite cool. What else can we do? On the left hand, let's see. So it's good that you can do individual body parts with different mixing and matching. So for example, let's give her a combat pad left and a combat pad right. It's cool. We'll change the colour in a second. And we want a left, no, not left glove. Wrong one. Oh, I've lost it now. It was her synth arm, wasn't it, that she had? Yeah, so you've got to be careful with that. That's it, put it back. And then change the colour back. Let me do it. Do that. Yeah, so best not get too overcomplicated here. So it's her right arm that I need to add. So I wanted to add a glove to the right hand. No, see, some won't mix and match. So it would be good if the game actually told you what you can mix and match. I think it does that in Soul Calibur actually. But it's not hard to get back where you were. But a undo and redo option would be nice. So let's just leave it at that for now. And let's just change her. I wonder if that will work on her. Now let's just leave it and just change her shoulder pads to be a different colour. Just keep that sort of metallic grey sort of colour. Suit the style. I mean, I could go red. And that would look quite cool. Yeah, let's do it red on that one as well. So she's got a bit of a diversity in the colour, a bit of a darker red there. Bad to go with the arm. Right, feet. Now I'm not sure if he's going to let me put any boots on over those legs. Hopefully it will. Let's see what happens. No, it won't. Okay, let's go back. Was the bottom here, and it's the leg. Synth leg. Oh, okay. So you've got to be careful. They're not exact colours matches, but I mean, she doesn't need footwear. She's got these cyber legs. So yeah. But yeah, that's what the game does need, a bit of an option to show you what you can and cannot do in terms of, it should give you a warning message to say, if you choose this option, it will remove X part. Yep, so let's save her. So yeah, that's basic customization, and I think, you know, how long has that taken? 20 minutes? Make a really nice sort of cyberpunk character. You know, I can sort of quickly just change her hair, you know, to give her a different look. Punky, cyberpunk even, ponytail. You know, you've got all these different styles, which is nice. That's kind of nice. Tifa hair, and that's Edie's hair. You know, so that's given her even more of a cyberpunk look. And again, I can change the colour of that to suit. How nice is that? Look at her now. And if you want to go for the whole hog with the mask, we can just add these sci-fi goggles just to round it off. Like that. Look at that now. That's a nice cyberpunk character. But obviously you're missing all your facial detail. I've spent all that time working on the face only to cover it up with some goggles. But I mean, that's completely optional. You've got these as well. Mask as well if you really want to go there. Collar. Let's just turn off the visor. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that look. See a lot of that around here because of COVID. That's really nice. I like it. And yeah, another interesting tidbit of information that you'll get from Rob Cram, speaking about himself in the third person, is that apparently the brain fills in the blanks. So when you see somebody wearing a mask, and you may have noticed this, and I'm not sure whether in some cultures where they force their women to wear masks and cover their faces and hair, etc. But when you look at a face and there's a mask and all you can see is the eyes, the human brain sort of automatically fills in all the stuff that it can't see, like the nose and the mouth. And if you've only got the eyes to see, it makes the person way more attractive. And that's just the way the human brain is conditioned. You're automatically drawn towards the eyes of a person, and if that's all you can see of a face, you will see that the attractiveness of the person's eyes, and the mask sort of covers up the rest of the features, and you sort of fill in the blanks. Obviously when they take the mask off, that's a different story, but that's quite an interesting thing that I read about. It's just sort of human nature. Isn't she lovely, the way she's posing like that? Yeah, I'm really happy with this character. Let's save her. I will upload her again to the I'll give it to Zenel Arts to publish on his Patreon. I'm not sure about that white choker actually, to be honest, or collar. Let's just change the colour of that quickly. It should be darker, because she's got a dark character. Let's make it red to suit the other sort of darkness of her there. That's better. That's a bit more pink. There you go. She's amazingly wicked. And look at that, just within how long to make this really nice, unique character. You know, it's really great. It's very easy to use these tools. That's one thing that I have to say. It's extremely easy. There's no complicated stuff. And what's so cool about this now is that I can bring her into the game and start doing all that stuff with the villain simulator, which is really cool. So I'm going to leave it at that. Really nice model, and I'm really pleased with that. And yeah, okay, I'm Rob Cram. Thanks for watching. This is the Villain Simulator.